मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। We are will continue our discussion on purpose purpose. So this week we will not be having Krishna Chakravarti commentaries because Prabhuji is in retreat. So we will continue. So here very nice explanation is given. In the previous verse, Brahmaji is telling the inhabitants of Vaikuntha travel in their aeroplanes made of lapis lazuli, emerald and gold. Although crowded by their consorts who have large hips and beautiful smiling faces, they cannot be stimulated to passion by their myth and beautiful charms. Now here it's a important point that why they don't enjoy, so much enjoyment facility is there. Why they don't enjoy? So the example is given in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So if a person is very very hungry, extremely hungry, and if a person is extremely hungry and is fasting from 2 days. Now, if we give him a very, very beautiful garland, will he able to enjoy the garland? Or if we give him a very costly diamond studded golden crown, will he be happy? He said no. He will be, even though he is taking, but he is more interested in food, prasadam. Similarly, Yudhishthir Maharaj, it was given for him that he was having such an unrivaled kingdom, very obedient, faithful brothers, beautiful wife, all the facilities. Still, he was not enjoying because he is more interested in Krishna. The hunger for devotees, Krishna association, service for Krishna, it is so intense that they don't feel any pleasure in any of these things. It's like that. So here also we see that these personalities they are staying in Vaikuntha, but their pleasure with which they experience in the association of Krishna is so high, they don't desire any sense gratification. Next sloka says Sri Rupini Kavam Vanayati Charanarvindam Leelambujena Harisadana Sadamani Mukta Dosha Samlakshate Sprutikakuddya Upeta Hemni Sammajitiva Yadanugrahane Anyayatanaha Sri Rupini Kavayati Charanarvindam Leelambujena Harisadana Satmani Mukta Dosha Samlakshate Sprutikakuddya Upeti Hemni Sammajivi Imajati Vayadanugrahane Nayanayatna. The ladies in the Vaikuntha planet are so beautiful as the goddesses of fortune herself. Such transcendental beauty, such transcendental beautiful ladies, their hands playing with lotuses and their legs bangles twinkling, are sometimes seen sweeping the marble walls. which are bedecked at intervals with golden border, in order to receive the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is they are sweeping to get the grace of Lord. And we have read this, we'll just again do it. In Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the Supreme Lord Govinda is always served in his abode by many, many millions of goddesses of fortune. Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasambrama Sevyama. These millions and trillions of goddesses of fortune who reside in Vaikuntha planet are not exactly the consorts of the Supreme Personality of God, but the wives of devotees of Lord, and also engage in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is stated here that in the Vaikuntha planet, the houses are made of marble. Similarly, in Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the ground of Vaikuntha planet is made of touchstone. Thus, there is no need to sweep the stone in Vaikuntha, for there is hardly any dust on it. But still, in order to satisfy the Lord, the ladies are always engaged in dusting the marble walls. Why? The reason is that they are eager to achieve the grace of Lord by doing so. They feel pleasure in giving pleasure to the Lord. That's the only reason. It is like, say, if a Prime Minister of India is coming to your village or town or wherever you are staying in the street, and you got opportunity to garland him, and he just shook hand and took a selfie. It's like considered, wow, such a nice. He didn't give you anything. You only gave garland. You only gave some bouquet, and he just took a selfie. Now, why you feel pleasure? Because oh, he's such a great person, and we got opportunity to take a photo with him and put a garland to him. You feel it's a privilege, and no need to get anything from him. Just want to do it something for him because he's such a big person. Similarly, here also they feel so happy for Krishna or Vishnu in Vaikuntha, it's Narayana, that they feel it's a privilege. Somehow he should look at me, somehow he should see, and he should give a smile. I'll do so much service in such a way. And Lord Narayana also reciprocates like that. They can every day get reciprocation of Narayana. And he gives a smile. Even though their number is very huge, Lakshmi, Sahasras, millions and trillions, but Lord has an ability to reciprocate with all of them. That is his speciality. And it is also stated here that in the Vaikuntha planets, the goddesses of fortune are faultless. Generally, the goddess of fortune does not remain steady in one place. Her name is Chanchala, which means one who is not steady. We find, therefore, that a man who is very rich may become the poorest of poor. Another example is Ravana. Ravana took away Lakshmi, Sitaji, to his kingdom, and instead of being happy by the grace of Lakshmi, his family and his kingdom were vanquished. Thus, Lakshmi in the house of Ravana is Chanchala and unsteady. This is also very important. We cannot enjoy Lakshmi independent of Krishna. Will be a big failure like what happened to Ravana or all these personalities, because she is here called Chanchala, one who is not steady. And instead of being happy by the grace of Lakshmi's family and his kingdom were vanquished because she did not show her mercy to them. The Lakshmi in the house of Ravana is Chanchala and unsteady. This is the point. We want to keep Lakshmi means we have to bring Narayana because he is Madhava, who is the husband of goddess of fortune. That's why it's called Madhava. We want to bring Krishna, Lakshmi is always there. Men of Ravana's class like want Lakshmi only without her husband Narayana. Therefore, they become unsteady due to Lakshmi. This is actually what is happening to people. Materialistic person find fault on the part of Lakshmi, but in Vaikuntha, Lakshmi ji is fixed in the service of Lord. In spite of being goddess of fortune, she cannot be happy without the grace of Lord. Even the goddess of fortune needs Lord's grace in order to be happy. Yet in material world, even Brahma, the highest created being, seeks the favor of Lakshmi ji for happiness. Everybody needs prosperity. And Brahma also, he also needs prosperity to become happy. But she will give only Vinarayan. And that's the reason all the demigods, all the heavenly planets, everybody worships the Supreme Lord. Of course, there are some other ways also. If somebody is following Dharma, also there is prosperity. She blesses them who are following. And somebody who is performing austerities, they also can get some opulences. They get different opulences. They get fame, they get some other siddhis and all. This is all blessings of Lakshmi ji. If somebody is following certain things. But ultimately, the real happiness is not possible. And next shloka says, Vapishu vidrumatata swa amalamritabsu प्रेष्यान्विता निजवने तुलसीभिरीशम् अभृच्छरति स्वलोकमनन्सम् इक्षपत्रम् उच्चेषितं भगवत्य अमताङ्घ्न यच्छ्री. This is Brahmaji is further continuing. The goddess of fortune worship the Lord in their own gardens by offering tulsi leaves on the coral paved banks of transcendental reservoirs of water. While offering worship to the Lord, they can see on water the reflection of their beautiful faces and raised nose. It appears that they have become more beautiful because of Lord's kissing their faces. Generally, when a woman is kissed by her husband, her face becomes more beautiful. In Vaikuntha also, although the goddess of fortune is naturally as beautiful as can be imagined, she nevertheless awaits the kissing of Lord to make her face more beautiful. The beautiful face of goddess of fortune appears in the ponds of the transcendental crystal water when she worships the Lord with tulsi leaves in her garden. The tulsi is such an important plant that even Lakshmi ji also takes help of tulsi to please the Lord. And that is the system. You can also please the Lord by help of Tulsi Maran. Lord has special liking for Tulsi. We cannot say why. It is his choice. That is how we should understand. And here, if you see, the Lord is manifested based on how much love they have. So, in the previous, all these goddesses of fortune or all the women of Vaikuntha, they have so much love for the Lord. That's why Lord is manifesting. So we have discussed this also, how Lord is proportionate to the love we have. That's how he is manifested. So Lord's manifestation is proportionate to love. Now, in the material world, people ask, why we cannot see God? Why we can't see Krishna? Now the answer is very simple. Because why we cannot see Krishna in material world? The answer is simple. What is the answer? No love. Here, nobody is loving Krishna. They are not interested in Krishna. And because of this, Lord is not manifesting. If you love Krishna, he can manifest right away in front of you immediately. Now, the highest love, because he is proportionate to love, right? Now, the highest form of love is where? With Radharani. So because the highest is with Radharani, the maximum manifestation is Krishna. So the form that is manifested in front of Radharani is Krishna. Whereas Lakshmi is there, her love is limited compared to Radharani, then it is Vishnu. The manifested form is proportionate to love, right? If it is Radharani, then Krishna will manifest. If it is Lakshmi Devi, it is Vishnu will manifest. And in Vaikunta, there are Lakshmis. Their love is little tinged with Aishwarya. Not tinged, it is full of Aishwarya. That's why there is a manifestation of Lord in the form of Vishnu. He is also in Aishwarya form only. But when Radharani comes, then there is no Aishwarya. It's all love, complete. No mix with Aishwarya. And that's how the form is manifested. In material world, zero manifestation. Nobody has love. Everybody is selfish. That's why. Now in our house, if you want Krishna to manifest, in your heart Krishna to manifest, what is needed? Love is needed. We should feel that feeling, that there should be some feeling for Krishna. Okay, Krishna, now let me become your man. There should be feeling that is developed for Krishna. At least we should aspire that. Okay, one day, like I was in Chardham Yatra, I was in the morning, I was sitting and doing some kirtan. And then after that, we did few times kirtans and all. And in the last day, when I was just going, few Matajis, they're elderly Matajis, middle age, not elderly, middle age Matajis. One came, oh, they said, you are very fortunate because whole day you chant Krishna's name. She asked you work. He said, no, I don't work. You stay in ashram. She said, oh, so fortunate. Whole day you are chanting the name of Lord. Whole day you are thinking of Lord. I said, wow, this is what is the expectation of people. I don't do it. But this is what we need to do. Whole day we should, she told, whole day the mantra will be going for you. No? Every day, whole time you are chanting, because that's what happened, because we did kirtans many times. So she was quite, she had this feeling that all the time we are chanting. I was thinking, oh, such a nice thing to happen. I was also wishing, I wish that it happens one day, that I continuously chant the name of Krishna without any break. Continuous. Ahituki apratihata. Apratihata means without any break. When it is possible, when there is love, that is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Wherever there is love, we can see that the person is always remembered. The thoughts of that person always lingers in the heart. That, oh, I want to remember Krishna all the time. We don't want any other thing to happen. We just want to remember that person. And there is so much excitement to just stand in front of Lord and watch the person. You don't get bored. 2-3 hours, like if a newly married couple or some boy and girl, they're in relation, they spend hours and hours together without doing anything also. And they are not bored. Why? Because there is some sort of attraction. And it is mundane. Because it is mundane, it is mixed with lust and it is affected by the lust in their intelligence, mind, and senses, which will not allow them to continue do it. After some time, they get bored. But whereas with Krishna, it is not like that. We continuously feel that experience. That love so much satisfies the heart that you don't want anything. Just stand 1 hour in front of Krishna. Some devotees I heard there, 5 hours they stand in front of Radha Shamsun. I was saying 5 hours they are just standing and watching. And then they are so happy. They love that person. It is possible for them. What we can do is when we are chanting, at least we can be with Krishna. We should feel his presence and want to be in his presence. And that is how we can make it. When we say, I just want to be with Krishna, I don't need anything else. So Krishna likes me and I like Krishna. And somebody will get same pleasure when they are doing some service to Krishna. They say, okay, And I've seen some devotees from 20, 30, a same service they are doing, and they're so happy. They don't do anything. They can do only simple. There are some old Matajis. They cannot do many things. They can do one thing, and they're so happy doing it. That is what makes them qualified. Because the feeling, in the end of life, there is nothing else they can remember. They'll remember only that. And to be with Krishna, constantly chant his names and experience his presence and want to be with him. This is actually what we want. So Vaikuntha is like that all. It's not just some geographical location. It's a state of consciousness. If we are our position in this material world, it is proportionate to state of consciousness. This is another important thing to remember. Position in the creation is proportionate to consciousness. Now we are having what consciousness? Earthly consciousness. That's why we are here. If we develop consciousness of demigod, then we can enter into there. It is not, that's how when we were discussing, atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshnam utaya. Manvantri Ishankata Nirodham. The 10 topics, sthanam, the position is how position is decided based on there are fixed boundaries. That means nobody can cross it. It is not a geographical boundary because sea is there, oceans are there, hills are there, we cannot cross. No. These boundaries are based on consciousness. Unless I develop the demigod consciousness, it is very difficult that I go and stay there. I can go, but I have to come back. I cannot continue staying there because my consciousness don't permit. I get difficult. It's like say, if somebody we are told, okay, there is a party, everybody is dancing, drinking. If you go there, we cannot stay more than 2 minutes. I say, my God, why I came to this party? We'll run away. Why? What happened there? Because our consciousness don't suit. If you go to lower planets, we will not be able to survive. We said, no, this does not suit me. Like some of the devotee was sharing, they were having some, the college campus in the US, they had some heavy parties. And even the people who are interested in party, they also cannot go there. It's too heavy. That means what? Their consciousness is not suitable. Similarly, if we go to heaven, we cannot stay there. It's too heavy. It is too sattvic. We say it's too boring. Earth is only better. We have here our internet and mobile is there, and we have our sports and whatever. Food is there. And then same thing in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is too heavy. Unless we develop that consciousness of continuously serving Krishna, feel that happiness in being in Krishna's association. That's how we practice. Whole day chanting, we should so happy chanting, whole day hearing, whole day serving the deities, whole day taking darshan of Krishna, whole day reading Bhagavatam. And when we feel that taste in all any one of them also, then when we go to Vaikuntha, we don't feel any difficulty. Otherwise, we say, my God, where did I come? And then we ask, can I get some personal time? Can I have my TV and I can watch something? And can I do something myself? No, it's not possible in Vaikuntha like that. Everybody has that relation with Krishna and then they're very happy there. And that's how. So here in this world, why Krishna is not manifested? Because there is no love. If you have love, then we can just have Krishna with us all the time. And maximum love, the highest. And the color also is same. Actually, why Krishna is black? So it's not black, it's rain cloud color. Why? Because this is actually, because color represents mood. Color means mood. Like if somebody is angry, it becomes red. If somebody is in tension and stress, he becomes pale. It's a color is a manifestation of the mood, and that's actually what happens. Say if you go and see some very beautiful scenic place like went to Badrinath and Yamunotri, such a beautiful places. Immediately there is a mood develops. He's so happy, Why? Because the color, the situation, that is actually what is affecting. Now, Lord Shiva, Rudra, it's extreme anger. So it's different type of blue, that is. And similarly, different personalities. Uh, now, but Krishna is actually love and is full of love. So that is actually the color. It's a mood that represents. And that's how his color is. We should understand. It's actually color is mood. And this form, which Krishna is full of love, and we can achieve him with love only. There is no other way. Even if he is in front of us, we cannot do anything. Like Duryodhana saw Krishna, he did not appreciate it. It didn't much bother him. Like there are many people who saw Krishna didn't because they don't know love. If somebody has love, then Krishna is so nice. Like any questions, comments on this still? No? We'll go for next. Yanna Vrajantag Bihdo Rachanan Vadacha Charvanti Ye Anya Vishaya Pukata Mritigna Yastu Shrutahata Bhagair Nabhairata Saras Tamastan Kshipanti Asaranais Tama Pushanta says that it is very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of Vaikuntha planet but engage in the topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilder one's intelligence. Those who give up the topics of Vaikuntha and take to talks of the material world are thrown into the darkest region of ignorance. And if we don't discuss on this, then Prabhupada writes nice purport, big one. This is the most unfortunate person or the impersonist who cannot understand the transcendental variegatedness of the spiritual world. They are afraid to talk about the beauty of Vaikuntha planet because they think that variegatedness must be material. Such impersonalists think that the spiritual world is completely void, and in the other world, that there is no variegatedness. This mentality is described here as Kukata Matagati, intelligence bewildered by unworthy words. The philosophers of voidism and of impersonal situation of spiritual world are condemned here because they bewilder one's intelligence. How can the impersonalists and void philosophers think of this material world which is full of variegatedness and then say that there is no variegatedness in the spiritual world? It is said that the material world is the perverted reflection of spiritual world. So unless there is variegatedness in spiritual world, how can there be temporary variegatedness in the material world? That one can transcend this material world does not imply that there is no transcendental variegatedness. Now, when this is what is impersonist problem? For them, they see that I have some form. I was discussing this also. Say I have some hands, legs, and other things. And they say this is something little odd shape. And how can Supreme Lord have this type of shape? This is their question. If I create a God, I create the way I am looking. If a dog creates a form, it will create a form in its way he is looking. So that's how they feel that you are creating something because you are looking like that. How can the shape of Lord be like this? The problem is actually that's not actually the way. We are not creating God. God created us. First, He existed and He made us in His form. That is the point. He is in that form and He created it. The logic, we cannot understand this. That is another problem. Like there was an argument between Buddhist and uh, Buddhists and the Astikas, who are believers and Vedas. So they argued. The Buddhist said that there is no God. With logic, we cannot understand Lord. That's the point I want to tell, that we may use any amount of logic. But the problem is we cannot prove, because Lord is beyond logic, is beyond cause and effect, because he's beyond this causal ocean. With the logic, you cannot understand. We can understand Lord only in the association of devotees. We can understand about Vaikuntha in the association of devotees. That's why just reading scriptures, we cannot understand the Supreme Lord and Vaikuntha. But if we stay in the association of devotees, their enthusiasm to serve the Lord, their feelings will also touch us, and we also start accepting, yes, there is somebody called Krishna and I should also love him. That is possible only with association of devotees. It is a monopoly of devotees to give Krishna. Nobody can give. No amount of reading scriptures. That's the unfortunate situation of this impersonalist. So now there was an argument between them. And Buddhists said that there is no God. And then these people who are Astikas, who believe in the Vedas, they said, no, see, everything you are seeing around has a cause. Nothing happened by chance, right? There is some cause behind everything. There is some cause behind it. So that means there should be the ultimate cause, who is the Lord. In that way, he is this. Now then the Buddhist said, okay, you are telling everything should have a cause. Then they asked, then what is the cause of the Lord? Now the argument ended there, because you cannot explain that. What is the cause of Lord? There is no answer of it. That means through logic, you cannot defeat. There was one Madhusudan Pandit or somebody at the time of Lord Chaitanya. He could not meet Lord Chaitanya, but he was that time. And what happened is his guru, there are some very heavy Mayavadi preachers at that time. His guru said, okay, you go to this Mayavadi, try to understand what he's speaking and you refute him. He went, he heard all these Mayavadas speculations and all, impersonalists, and he wrote a book refuting them. And then what happened? And these people, they took that book, the impersonalists, and they wrote another book defeating his arguments. And after him, this Vaishnavas, they took that book, they refuted another one. And then they took this book and then they refuted. Like that, 7 generations happened. And nobody knows where it began, because we cannot refute. You are more intelligent. That's why Tarko Apratishto Sritayo Vibhinna. If you are Tarka and Apratishta with logic and argument, we cannot come to a conclusion. Sritayo Vibhinna. If you are more intelligent than the person who is in front of you, you can defeat him with logic. And if an impersonalist is more intelligent, he can defeat us in logic. Through logic, it is not possible. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to prove this point, he appeared as Nimai Pandit. Initial Leela he did as Nimai Pandit. As a Pandit, he used to establish something, refute that, establish another one, refute the second one, establish the third statement, refute the third statement, and establish the first statement. Why he is doing that Leela? He just wanted to prove this point that you cannot understand all these things, this Vaikuntha and all, spiritual world with the help of logic. That is the point. Now, here also, we cannot understand, we cannot prove them with logic that there is Vaikuntha. Only in the association of devotees, we seeing their feeling for the Lord, we also develop that feeling. Yes, there is Krishna. That's how Prabhupada could easily preach. There is no much. Prabhupada gives some logic, but most of them, it is not just logic, it's the personality that actually attracts. Most of the Prabhupada disciples are attracted to Prabhupada as a person. They said, yes, this person says means it is right only. There is no possibility it can be wrong. If Prabhupada is telling Krishna is Supreme Lord, yes, because he is such a nice person. He cannot speak lies. That's how they could easily get convinced. Because one thing is, philosophy is there, but more of a person. Devotee is very important for us. With him, By staying with him, by associating with him, we immediately we immediately uh, get benefited. This is the and here we see impersonalists. Now for them it's so difficult. They try very hard, and unfortunately they cannot understand only. It is very difficult for them. Like initially when Prabhupada was in America and used to say, this Mayavadi, this impersonalist, and Prabhupada was very heavy on Mayavadi. So the disciples, they thought that Prabhupada must be having really bad enemies, somebody called Mayavadi in India. But later on they understood, no, it's the tendency that is there in all of us. Anytime we desire for mukti, mukti spruha, it is considered like pishachi. They're considered like witches. Now, what is that? That if we have a desire to get rid of suffering, it's a desire of liberation only. For a devotee, they just don't want to get rid of suffering or anything. They just want to please Krishna. They don't think of their own pleasure and pain. They just think of Krishna and want to serve Krishna. No matter whatever happens to me, it does not matter for me. Let Krishna be happy. That's how pure devotional service is. So they're not affected by the desire to get rid of pain. But the tendency is there in initial stage. That is actually mukti. And that is what is Maya. We all have the tendency. Initially, when we come, we have a desire. Because for me now also it is there that I want to get rid of suffering. But that is not actually what we were to aspire. We say, no, I just want to please Krishna. Let him be happy. Like we are hearing Bhagavatam now or we are reading. We just want to please Krishna. Let Krishna be happy for today. You know, this 1 hour where I read, let Krishna be happy because I heard about him and I want to be with him. That's all. What I get, I don't want anything. Let him be happy. This is what we need to do. And this is the first thing. No, we develop this pure devotional feelings, the attitude. And then here we see that variegatedness. And all these things night cannot be understood like, okay, there is there, we say it is there, they will say it is not there. No, and what basis we can prove? They cannot prove that it is not there, and we can also not prove it is there. Because it is not pratyaksha, na? And with logic also we cannot know it. Here Prabhupada gave one logic. He said, here variety is there, why it is not there? So that is our logic. They will have some other logic. But the main point is why we are believing, not because of logic, because Prabhupada said, that's all. Because Prabhupada said it is there, means it is there. This person, the association of Prabhupada is actually what is our strength. On that basis, sadhu is what is the strength for us. Shastra is there, but sadhu is very important. Here in Bhagavatam, in this verse particularly it is stressed that people who try to discuss and understand the real spiritual nature of spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha are fortunate. Now what we are doing is discussing about Vaikuntha. Brahmaji is discussing with the demigods and we are repeating. Prabhupada saying we are all fortunate. The variegatedness of Vaikuntha planet is described in the relation to the transcendental past tense of the Lord. But instead of trying to understand the spiritual abode and the spiritual activities of Lord, people are more interested in politics and economic development. Even this is actually the problem. Even I also get affected. I'm confessing. Politics. People want to know who is the prime minister of the country and what is happening, the latest. This is actually the controlling mentality. Not good. They hold many conventions, meetings, and discussions to solve the problems of this worldly situation, where they can remain only for a few years. But they're not interested in understanding the spiritual situation of Vaikuntha world. After 35, we cannot do much. We should be serious in trying to meditate on the holy name. People try to settle after 40s. But then after 40s, now we should start retiring. 50 is time for, we should prepare for retiring, and after 50, we should retire. At least retire means we should not so much work on economic development. We have to continue the responsibilities, but we should not very seriously working in making more and more economic. More time should be invested in developing absorption in Krishna. That is need to be done. Not that I'm 50 now, so let me plan for a big house, big villa, and next 20 years I spend till age of 70 trying to make a big house. And what will I do after 70? I have to die only. But then it's a loss of time. It's not that we should not do, but we should not waste our time. We should engage our time in absorption in Krishna. Otherwise, people feel after once they, if they get a job at the age of 25, after 20 years, they should start feeling that, okay, let me now get more absorption in Krishna. If that is not coming, then we are not doing it properly. It should come naturally. We should feel, okay, done at the age of 25, you get a job and get married early, and then after 20, 25 years, person feels, I think it's enough. I need to focus on Krishna because there is no much time. It's very less time. No, we cannot achieve Krishna. So there is a question in the chat box on Krishna's form that looks like human form. It is Krishna's form after which human form is created, not the other way. Reflection of spiritual is metal. Yeah. So that is the point. So logic now we should start from one, not from zero. Metal world is zero, spiritual world is one. It from there it comes here. So what scientists do, they start from zero. Anything we and the logics and all they start from zero. They say no. First it was nothing and then something came. We say no, there was something already spiritual world and this material world came. They say there was a black hole and from black hole everything came. We say no. The black hole is actually the hole pores in the body of Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu was there. From him pores all the universes are coming. So is a form first, and then we came. So we are not imposing us on spiritual world. We are telling spiritual world was there, and then we appeared. Then it makes more easy to understand. But anyway, that's not. It's not with logic. Also, I'm telling that it's a cause and effect is in the material world. Spiritual world is beyond cause and effect. That means with logic we cannot understand spiritual world. We need association, we need faith, and we come in the association of devotees. No matter, like many of them, they didn't read big all these scriptures and logic argument. Proper disciples. They just are few months old and few days old, but they came in Prabhupada. Prabhupada said Krishna is Supreme Lord, chant Hare Krishna, distribute books, and they're so blissful doing it. They didn't need any other things. So that's the point. And the next sloka, it says that ye vyartitamapi chano nrigatim prapanna jnanam cha tatra vishvam sadadharmamam yatra नाराधनं भगवतो वितरन्त्यमुष्य सम्मोहिता विततया बतमाययाते. It says that Lord Brahma said, my dear demigods, the human form of life is of such importance that we also desire to have such life. For in human form, one can attain perfect religious truth and knowledge. If one is in this human form of life, does not understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is abode, it is to be understood that he is very much affected by the influence of external and nature. This is a very nice point. This is Brahmaji's opinion. See, such a great person's opinion, we should take it very seriously. And that is what is needed. Like yesterday, I was taking Telugu Bhagavad Gita class, and in the 7th chapter, 20, 21, 22, 23 shlokas, this 4 shlokas, Krishna very clearly says that who has antavantapalam tesham tatbhavati alpamedasam, who is less intelligent, they worship, anya devata, they worship all the demigods. And one person, he was really quite upset. He said, I said, we need not worship any demigod, just Krishna sufficient. Even if you have by chance some photos, no need to worship, just worship Krishna. Then he asked, Arey, why? All our ancestors, so many ancestors, they were doing for many years and years. And I was telling that here Krishna is so clearly saying, no, have respect for what Krishna is telling. Krishna is telling it is wrong. Even if people are doing wrong for lakhs of years, it does not become right. All these lakhs of years they are doing wrong, worshipping demigods. It is the wrong thing. Krishna is clearly telling. Because many people are doing for long time, it does not make right. Hitler has this saying, if you speak lie long enough, loud enough, and bold enough, it becomes true. It should be bold, it should be long and loud, and it becomes true. That's actually what is happening in material world. You know, they're doing wrong thing, and they're doing in a public way. They put all the demigods in a very big, grandiose way. They make temples for them, and then they are doing it in a very bold way, and then they are doing in a long run. And it becomes a true. People think, oh, demigod worship, oh, I should do this Navaratri, I should do this Ganpati, I should worship this, I should do Dhanvantri Puja, I should do Lakshmi Puja. Arre, that is all wrong. That is all. That is, they are doing it in a bold way by making temples. They are doing it loud with all this grandiose way and then doing for a long time. But it's all wrong. You should not do it. You should only worship Krishna. That is Varnashram system. Varnashram is only Varnashram Acharya with Purushena Parakuma. Vishnu Aradhyate. It's only for Vishnu. That's all. They are doing it wrong way. And we should have respect for the words of Krishna. Krishna is speaking, we should respect that words. Here Brahma is speaking, we should respect him. Lord Brahma is telling, human form of life is of such importance that we also desire as such. So Brahma is telling we want to have human form. We are in a demigod body. The human form is more important. Why? So in the human form, one can attain perfect religion through knowledge, religious truth and knowledge. If one is in this human form of life, does not understand Supreme Personality of God and is about, it is to be understood that it is very much affected by the influence of external nature. We need to, this is the purpose. Brahmaji condemns very vehemently the condition of human beings who does not take interest in the personality of God and in his transcendental abode. Everybody is condemned. 99.9% Prabhupada say are Naradamas. It's not his opinion, it's the Brahma's opinion only. The human form of life is desired even by Brahmaji. Brahma and other demigods have much better material bodies than human beings. Yet, demigods, including Brahma, nonetheless desire to have human form because it is specifically meant for the living entities who can attain transcendental knowledge and religious perfection. You see? More than demigod body, human body is very advantageous for bhakti. That's why we are very fortunate even for demigods also. Because demigods, they get so much distracted by all the material comforts. That's why they cannot meditate on the Supreme Lord so intensely, which can be done in the earthly planets. That is the point. The intensity does not come. The hunger is there, then only we go for eating. If there is no hunger, we don't feel to eat. Why? Similarly, if there is no, that the situation in this material world, sorry, especially earthly planet, is in such a way that we can feel that, which is not possible in heavenly. Heavenly planets, the pleasures are too much. So many beautiful apsaras and nice comforts and nice food and nice all these things, which is very distracting. Even for us also, if we are given so much comfort, there is less likely that we will be able to intensely chant Krishna's name. Everything goes nice. For us to remember Krishna becomes difficult. That's why Krishna does not give. He continues to keep some problems in devotee's life so that he will remain safe. Problems are actually Krishna's way of protecting us from going towards Maya. If there's no problem, then we also don't have any problem. Then we say, okay, Krishna, no problem. You also be happy. I'll also enjoy here. I'll also be. Krishna, that's why he does not fulfill desires very easily. He does not make us free from suffering very easily. And sometimes he may send sufferings also so that we become more intense. And that's actually we can see in our life. Wherever we went in through sufferings, that is the time we remembered the Lord much. We could grow in our spiritual life much. And like we asked Radhan Maharaj, Maharaj, when suffering comes, no, it is so difficult to remember the Lord. No, you are telling suffering will help us to remember Lord, but no, suffering comes and no, we are not able to remember the Lord. Then Maharaj said that means sufferings are not sufficient. You need more suffering. Then you completely become helpless and you say, okay, Krishna, no, I don't have anything. You are only there. And it is how Krishna makes us. He makes us get attracted to him or hold him with some. He knows our weakness and he hits there only. And because we are getting hurt at our weakness, we become helpless. And that's how, like, say, some attachment is there. And Krishna will hit at the attachment only. And then it's so painful. Then we say, oh, Krishna, it's paining so much. Let me more intensely chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we more intensely chant. If somebody is chanting 16 rounds for a few years and is not he is suddenly stopped, immediately he can expect something very bad is going to happen. If he has done very sincere chanting, then it is so dangerous for him. He is going to face very big thing because Krishna does not live like that. He will make sure we come back. And proper is writing, it is not possible to go back to Godhead in one life, but in human form, one should at least understand the goal of life and begin Krishna consciousness. This is what Prabhupada is telling. It is not possible to go back home in one life, but human form, one should at least understand the goal of life and begin Krishna consciousness. It is said that human form is a great boon because it is most suitable boat for crossing over the nations of ocean. The spiritual master is considered the most able captain in that boat, and the information from the scriptures is a favorable wind from floating over the ocean of nations. The human being who does not take advantage of this facility in this life is committing suicide. Atmaha, killer of the soul. This is Ishopanishad says. Therefore, one who does not begin Krishna conscious human form of life loses his life to the influence of the illusory energy. Brahma regrets the situation of such human beings. This is what is Brahma's opinion. We should value what he is speaking. And then we have the sloka. He says, Yaccha vrajanti animisham rishabhanuvartya dure yamahi uparina sprahaniya shila mrityurmita suyasa katananuraga vaiklavyabhaspakалaya pulakikritamna. Here, Brahma is saying persons whose bodily features change in ecstasy and who breathe heavily and perspire due to hearing the glories of Lord are promoted to the kingdom of God, even though they do not care for meditation and other austerities. The kingdom of God is above the material universe and it is desired by Brahma and other demigods. There is a question in the chat box. Difficulties are born for human life to do bhakti. Not for devotees who want to go to Krishna, then it is directly Krishna who is giving them. For non-devotees, their karma is sufficient. That gives them. Lord does not interfere in it. For devotees, difficulty comes because Krishna sends him to make a devotee more surrendered. And only if he is very serious to come to Krishna, then only. Otherwise, Krishna does not bother. What he does, he gives some material facilities and send him a message, okay, you enjoy. If devotee is getting some material facilities and he is becoming prosperous, that means he don't want Krishna in this. If he is very serious, Krishna does not give so easily. Uh, Krishna does not like to give mental facility and distract. Some cases he may get some facilities, he get followers, he can become a big guru and other things, but he knows that this is safe for him, then only Krishna gives. Anytime he feels this is not safe, Krishna takes away. What Krishna does, he knows. And only thing is, we should be very sincere about achieving Krishna. I want Krishna in life. That sincerity is there. We are saved. We are protected. We may have our conditionings. We have our problems, but that does not. That is not a big issue for Krishna. Krishna can remove our conditions in fraction of second. What Krishna needs is, am I sincere to achieve Him? That is actually what Krishna is looking for. If I am sincere to achieve Him, Krishna is ready to make all arrangements. For Him, the anarthas and the problems which you have, it's not actually questionable. We may have any amount of conditioning. At the end of life, person with so much conditionings, yes, struggle hard. End of life, Krishna removes just few minutes before his death and makes him completely pure and take him back to God. That's why when we see some devotees struggling with anarthas and all, we should never criticize. Because if he's sincerely desiring Krishna, and then Krishna is taking him back to God. So we should be careful. And here Brahma is giving nice standard. He's saying we should experience this ecstasies to go to spiritual world. That means he has that feeling for Krishna, which is a qualification. We feel for Krishna. Immediately we don't care what is happening outside, what news, what is happening in the house of others, what by friends, relatives. It does not bother. Is completely in ecstasy. And this is a very, very big purport. We'll do it tomorrow. Any questions, comments? Okay. Thank you all very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.